Andrade. Do you think he's a lot better than people think?
Oh, for sure. You know, it's disappointing. Like I said, he's another fighter that, you know, being railroaded by politics in the sport of boxing that never was given his opportunity to show how great he is. You know, and hopefully he can do it come, you know, fight night with Benavidez. But, you know, that's a big task to tackle, given the fact that everybody, you know, already matching Benavidez and Canelo against each other. And if it's a close fight, you know, it's more money in Benavidez Canelo than Andrade and Canelo. So, you know, I feel like he's going to have to win in tremendous fashion to get the victory.
David Benavidez will fight Demetrius Andrade November 25th here in Las Vegas. For me, Benavidez is one of my favourite fighters to watch, like what he did in the ring against Caleb Plant, the fans that he had in the venue. I was thinking there's no way he can have that energy in the first 3 rounds and still fight like that at the end of the fight. But it's like he even upped, you know, upped his stamina towards the end. How do you see that fight going down next month?
That's a tremendous fight. I think a lot of people are overlooking Boo Boo. And Boo Boo can fight his behind off. He's tough. He's just been in a situation where he hadn't got that much exposure, you know, and he hadn't had those kind of opportunities.
Yeah.
And now with him being over here in the PBC, he's going to get those opportunities. And there's no bigger opportunity than what lies ahead on November 25th, taking on the great David Benavidez. I think we all know what Benavidez brings to the table. He's just, I mean, he's amazing. But it's going to be a much better fight than I think that with some, you know, I've heard the initial feedback from some of the fans, and they just on to the next. No, this is a great fight. Boo Boo can fight his behind off, and to David's credit, Benavidez knows that. Him and his dad know that. They know that this is the biggest fight to date that they have.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a great fight. Hey, it's gonna be a great fight.
It's gonna be a dog-ass fight. Demetrius Andrade versus David Benavidez. Demetrius got a high-ass IQ, smart fighter, a lot of skill. Obviously, we know what David Benavidez can do. Accumulation. Ain't really no one punch. He throw a lot of punches. He got a real good punch output.
I wouldn't be surprised if Demetrius could take the game plan to the next level. I'm not counting him out. I don't favor him because I just simply don't know enough about him. So conventional wisdom says that David comes on the second half of the fight and wins the fight. So I don't favor Demetrius, but we really don't know what he is because we haven't seen him in. He could be a great fighter in high. You know, before the Terrence Crawford Earl Spence fight, you know, when we're talking about Crawford's resume, his resume. And then what they didn't know is that they was looking at a great fighter who had been denied opportunities, you know, and I feel the same way about Boots Ennis. And that's something that me and you talked about, that we looking at a great fighter, but people don't realize he's a great fighter because he's been denied opportunities. And, you know, quite frankly, the better fighters, if they aren't the biggest stars, they're going to get denied opportunities. You get opportunities when the managers and promoters see that you're flawed, and then they put you in there because they believe that other guys can beat you or other guys are more willing to fight you. But if they don't see enough flaws, then you might not get those fights. That's the little secrets in boxing that people don't really want to talk about. So a guy like Demetrius Andrade, and I'm not saying that everybody ducked him because some things probably was his fault, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But we don't know what he is really, you know, and Terrence Crawford just showed us that he was a great fighter. Now they're talking about Crawford hypothetical matchups with Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. That's how good that he performed against Earl Spence. But before the fight, the people who picked Spence kept talking about Terrence Crawford's resume. So I got to leave room for error with analyzing Demetrius Andrade because he really hasn't fought nowhere near on the level. You don't know. I think the best fighter he's fought was maybe Jack Colkay. A few years ago, he was like the WBA regular champion. They had a pretty tough fight.
I'd probably
You
say
know,
Martirosyan, maybe Martirosyan.
okay, they're around the same
Okay.
level of guy.
Yeah.
Rose and Colkay. That's about right. But it's been nowhere near the I think Rosen was maybe like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
been nowhere near the level of David Benavidez, especially that size. I think Rosen, if I'm not mistaken, was at 154 when he first won the title.
Definitely
So it's
was. Yep.
definitely haven't been anybody that's So just a very long time ago. But his resume is kind of thin to have been a pro since 2008 is my point. But it may be because he's a great fighter and people don't want to fight him. So we don't know. Conventional wisdom says David comes on late, and I'm not going to go too far against the grain, but I'm leaving it open that Demetrius might be a great fighter, and he just never had a chance to prove it. I think that especially the first few rounds, because Demetrius, very rarely have I seen him lose one of the first 4 rounds of a fight. And I've seen David consistently lose the first 4 rounds of fights. Actually, the fight was kind of, Caleb was cruising on him early in the fight. David takes a little bit of time to get worked up.
Yeah.
So you're not going to just, keep losing rounds early and have to keep coming back. Eventually, that's going to run out on you. A guy going to figure out a way to do the second half, or he going to punish you in the way in the first half where you won't be able to step on the gas pedal. So I'm curious to see it. I make David a slight favorite in my mind simply because I know more about him than Demetrius. But I think it should be a really competitive fight. And I love Andre Rozier in the corner. He gives real good, clear, precise instructions, man. And he's really calm in the corner. He knows how to get guys through fights. So I could see that. I could see them doing a good job and, giving David a run for his money.
Benavidez by murder. Benavidez by murder. I got Benavidez by murder. Benavidez by however he wants. Yeah, that fight's not even close, man.
Fight that's supposed to be happening with David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. What's your thoughts on that fight, man? Who do you see picking up the win right there?
I like in that fight, I like Bubu Andrade to win.
Okay.
To be honest.
Why is that?
That kid, that guy's, I was in training camp with him last year in Providence. I was helping him get ready for Zach Parker. And I've seen something, I've seen some skill. This guy is amazingly talented. And I say that with all due respect. It was every time we sparred, it was always a chess match until I started trying to use my distance to keep him at bay. But if you don't keep him at bay and try to fight him at mid-range, how David Benavidez does, his feet is going to eat him alive. Demetrius Andrade feet is going to really, that's the thing. You try to fight Demetrius Andrade in mid-range to get your shit off, it's not going to happen because he is great at mid-range. He's not good. He's a great fighter at mid-range. He can fight. At mid-range, when I say his feet, he can slide over. He here on the southpaw side. He slides here. He do different things. He throws uppercuts. He throws punches from every angle. On a mid-range, you can't fight Demetrius Andrade on mid-range. He is deadly. And I'm going to say that. He is deadly in mid-range. Demetrius Andrade, and I'm not just saying he's going to win because I'm saying that the skill level of that guy, he's deadly, man. And I'm not sitting here. This will be the fight where I stamp David Benavidez because he dared to be great. That's it. That's it. He dared because he didn't have to take this. He could have took Dave Morrell and really beat Dave Morrell because Dave Morrell's stupid. To me, he's not smart. He comes straight to you and throw the shit from a southpaw side. He don't move his head. Dave Morrell coming just like this. Fighting. He fighting. And it's easy to clip a guy like that. He don't use his jab. He don't set nothing up. He's coming right to you. He could have fought a guy that comes right to him. That would have been an easier choice. That would have been a smarter choice than fuck with Andrade with that feet movement, with the elusiveness, with the quickness. And he gets it there fast. Andrade gets it there fast.
What do you think of the Benavidez-Andrade fight? It's going to be the last pay-per-view Showtime ever does.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins that fight?
David. I think David is the real deal. Like, I talk my stuff about him, but that's just the competitiveness in me wanting to fight him, you know, but I think David is the truth. I sparred with him before. He's a real good jab. Don't get tired. Good. David got a real good punch selection. Like the way he mixes punches up real good. It's tough, big heart. I think he stops Boo Boo about 5, but I don't think he go past 8.
5, because usually that's Boo Boo's best. The first 4 or 5 rounds is when he's at his best. So,
well,
yeah.
If you look at when he fought Demond Nicholson, come on, like that really was a knockdown. They can say what they want, but if he really knocked Boo Boo down, and that fight was close, you know what I'm saying? And Boo Boo was coming off of how many losses?
Or you mean Demond? Demond Nicholson was coming off.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Demond Nicholson was coming off how many losses?
He got dropped a number of times
by Berlanga.
Right.
You know, he just got stopped by the kid Chris Malabi and
Mabili, right?
Mabili.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Boo Boo supposed to be the most avoided fighter, and couldn't get him out of there. And it looked like he was having a tough time. Look at his face; he was uncomfortable. He didn't want to be in there. You know what I mean? So I think David crushes him. You know, you know what I mean? I just think David runs through him.
Why do you feel that way though? When you know, good boxer like Plant had a very good early part of the fight, and Andrade, you know, like Plant, is looked at as a good boxer with smart feet, skills. So why can't he replicate what Plant did at least early?
Because if you look at it with David and Plant, right? Caleb is he got a lot left in the tank, so he gave David a little bit of trouble. But if you look at Boo Boo last fight, who Demond Nicholson has nothing left in the tank, and you saw his performance. Like looking at, if I never see them fight and I saw that performance, I would be like, boxing is straight political, because there's no way this kid is the most avoided fighter. Like he had pretty much somebody who has nothing left in the tank, couldn't even get him out of there, and looked like he was uncomfortable about being in there. If you look at the level of competition, the level of opposition, you know, he not once, when you promoted like he is as the most avoided fighter and Canelo's so scared of him, you dominate guys like Demond Nicholson. You show that, listen, kid, you gonna get hurt today. You either quit or you gonna get hurt today. You know what I'm saying? You show the difference. In that fight, I didn't see what everybody else seen about him having this great feed and he's just so good and I'm like, he's so scary. I didn't see that. I just seen a guy that's overhyped.
Could it be though, first fight at 68, coming up from 60, and you know, he'll have those feet underneath him, quicker underneath him, being comfortable at the weight now?
Well, here's my thing. He's been a 60-pounder his whole career. It ain't like he had to struggle to make 168. You know what I'm saying? You're going up 8 pounds, so you can pretty much relax during camp because you ain't got that, like, man, I got to make weight. He's making, you know what I'm saying? It's like he can walk in, I'm pretty sure he walk around 175, you know, maybe even lower. You know what I'm saying? So making 68 was nothing for him. So he should have had more energy and more power and more pop. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion.
Do you think he has more power than Plant did? He sits down on the shot more, or?
Well, I ask you this: who did he knock out?
Knocked out some middleweights. Jason Quigley.
Middleweights, but super middleweight, total different ball game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, matter of fact, what was his percentage knockout ratio at 60?
It's a good question. I want to say it was at least 50%.
You sure?
No. Not sure.
Yeah,
Read the box, right?
I doubt it. I doubt it was 50%. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then in fact, he couldn't stop Demond Nicholson, who Berlanga dropped him, what, 5-6 times?
4 times.
4 times?
So you had numbers on to it, Lonnie.
Yeah, okay, well, my bad. But the point is, Berlanga, who's really like still learning in the game, was able to put him down. Boo Boo, who's been around, top amateur. I believe he went to the Olympics, something like that.
08, yep.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? And can't, you know, so you ask yourself, is the power there? Because it gotta be something. Demond Nicholson just got stopped by Chris, the kid in Montreal.
Right.
Labili. So you ask yourself, is he gonna be a big puncher at 68? Do he got enough power to keep David up off of him? Do he got enough power to make David respect him? After seeing what he did to how he fought Demond Nicholson, I don't think so.
Do you think because David's not in this kind of personal bad blood fight that he'll take more advantage of his offensive skills as opposed to the Plant fight where he was kind of reaching for power shots early? And
well, with that fight, certain fights, boxing is an emotional game, right?
Right.
So I think it was a build up for all these years, and I think I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think David was looking to look like a superstar. I think he was looking like, I'm gonna fuck him up. This is personal,
right.
And I'm going to destroy this kid. Whatever I got to do to destroy him, you know. And I think, but being that he don't have the bad blood with Boo Boo, I think he's gonna be more relaxed. Like, yo, and David believes he believes stuff that everybody say about him. So I think he's gonna be sharp because he gonna want to prove that. I'm pretty sure he ain't knocked Caleb out. He said he was gonna knock. So I'm pretty sure he's coming back. I think David's gonna come hard for this one, just to show people like, yo, y'all said he was the most feared guy. You know, I didn't knock Caleb, I almost did, but I made up and knocked Boo Boo out.
Kenny Bayless did help a little bit
Yeah,
there. To be
I
fair,
agree. I agree.
To be fair,
I agree.
To be fair. But
the thing is, Kenny Bayless stepped in when Caleb was holding, but Kenny Bayless wasn't stepping in when David was punching. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
he let him punch out the clinch, right?
Yeah, so it's like they can make whatever excuse they want, but David didn't knock Caleb out.
Right.
Period.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you kind of like expect Andrade to pick up that win? Because I'm pretty sure after your fight, you know, you'll grab your stuff from the back and go right to your ringside seat and watch it up close, man.
I think it's gonna be a real close fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a real close fight, and Andreas, if he comes out for points, he can possibly outpoint Benavidez, seeing that Benavidez just comes falling forward with punches. Especially if his counter punching is on point, then I give it to Andreas. But if he comes out and he's not matching the hand. Benavidez being as busy, then Benavidez will win. I doubt if Benavidez can overwhelm Andreas though.
Benavidez against Andrade, good fight. I expect Benavidez to stop Demetrius Andrade, and when he does, I think he's going to make a real claim to fight Canelo Alvarez, and I think Canelo at that point will take the fight. I think it will be that big that he will take it, and I don't think he's afraid of David Benavidez. Canelo isn't afraid of anyone, and he will fight everybody.
How are you?
What's up, man? Benavidez and Boo Boo, who wins?
It's a 50-50 fight.